Hey guys, welcome. I just want to share this quick video on how to use the deal analyzer, the cash section that I'm going to share with you. Because the deal analyzer, the spreadsheet has a lot of sections and a lot of numbers and a lot of formulas. So I'm going to show you the specific areas where you can add your numbers and specific areas where you can play with those numbers. So that being said, let's go for it. Let me share my screen. Stop one. Okay, I hope this video is recording the spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet has three main columns. So the deal and the input. I don't know if you guys can see here. The input is the first column. Then we have conventional and kind of on the flip side, results. We're not gonna touch that for now. And we have the third column that is the harmony and the refinance outputs. On how much money do you have to put? How much money depending on how much money the harmony lender or the any lender is lending you. And actually we have a fourth column that is the cash on cash return on the main three exit strategies. We can add here like renting per bedroom, co-living spaces, like you name it. The most important part is the total cash money out of pocket, out of your own money, because from that you can calculate based on you see this green number here, based on the cash flow, the net cash flow from the property, you can calculate how much is your cash on cash return on the deal. And I think that that's for investors, that's the most important number that you have to look at. Myself, I look more than 20, 25% into a deal, but in general, more than 10, 13, 14%, it is a good deal. So let's start from the right column. Let me zoom in. So we have the deal, the market value and appraisal value. I have like the two areas, but usually you put the same number, 400,000, 400,000. Oh, very important. The yellow sections are the ones that you can add your number in. So appraisal and market value is the same. Now we have purchase price. This is very important because the system will calculate the percentage of the purchase price plus rehab plus closing costs based on the ARV that you will enter here. Seller contribution, usually in our cash deals, is zero. Survey, so those are like extra expenses that you can add here, or you can just remove and put zero. I put here like in the comments, like it's fixed. I usually pay like 450, 500, and the appraisal is like 700, between 600 and 700. So repairs, make ready. So make sure that you calculate those right with your contractor or yourself. Property actually should be yellow because it's an input, so you can add that. I previously had a formula here, but in some areas they have different rates, so it's an input, so it should be yellow. Let me change that right away. Okay, then you have the rent. This is super important because the cash on cash return, the cash flow is going to be calculated based on that. And of course, the property insurance per year. So we have property taxes per year and insurance per year. Remember, this is a spreadsheet based on bursts. To do bursts mainly. So conventional, we're not going to touch this one. Then you have the hard money, or if you have private money, you put your terms here. My harmony lender, for example, he gave me 70% loan to value. Kind of all in meaning that he will give me 70% of the ARV of the property. In this case, 400,000, we will see it later. Interest rate, minus 12%. This one is super important, $18,000 is between 5 and 7% of the loan. Why? Because my harmony lender charged me 3% plus the closing costs from the title company. So sorry about it. we can check here. The formula is divided by 6%. I'm look at on the top. But if you have a private money lender who doesn't charge any money on the points, you can just put like 3% here. You can change in the formula on the top, and instead of 6, but put 6%. I mean 3%. Then we have the interest rate, months until refi. Why? Because if you refi, that's going to be the payments, rolling lenders fees. I will say yes, because my lender, most of the lenders, they have some extra fees, like between $1,000 and $2,000, and weeks until lease like 16. Again, it's like 4 months. Why? Because the system also calculates on this side. We're going on the right. Also calculates how much money are you paying a month, but also if you're leasing the property already, the system calculates that. So let's keep working on the first column, and then the refinance loan, depending on the market. This is the bank. This is the 30-year mortgage. So loan to value, most of the lenders is 75%, not 70. Some of the lenders, the ECR lenders, will give you 80%. So you can change that. Loan terms in years, 30%, that's fixed. Unless you have a lender that finance you for 20 years or 40 years. Nowadays, you can find lenders that they can finance you for 40 years. Interest rate, you can change that depending on the market, depending on your credit, and lender fees. Again, it's like 4% between the broker, the lender, you name it. And you can play with those numbers too. And also calculates the taxes and insurance, like 3 months of prepaid taxes and insurance. So we have everything from the first column. The yellow areas were the areas that you can change. You can input your value. Now you have kind of everything, numbers to play here. I put always kind of the comments. For example, in this specific scenario, rent was RDNA. So meaning I did the numbers based on an Airbnb, for example. Okay, so let's jump to the third column. This is, let's focus first. This is all results. So you do not add any number here. So the only numbers you play with in the entire spreadsheet are the yellow, sorry, the yellow sections. That's it. Everything else is made up formula, so you will have your results here. So, but let me explain a little bit about everything. So you have total cash out of pocket. In this case, is 47,000. Why? Because that will take cash out of pocket from your Harmony lender. So in this case, you will bring $38,000. So this is the first closing summary. Let's add here first closing. And then we have the holding costs right here. And then we have the refi closing summary. This is the second closing. So in this case, in this scenario, actually, let's do it like, yeah, so, okay, let's keep focus on this one. And this is the cash out of pocket, the total. We'll sum the numbers from the Harmony lenders, the numbers from the holding cost. Most of the people don't calculate holding costs. They just run the numbers and say, hey, I'm going to spend like 20K. No, it's not 20K. It's 20K plus 4 months you have on the holding cost. And then the money you're going to put in this case, is 0 because of the deal. But the money you're going to put into the refinance, if you put any money. Okay, then that's the total cash out of pocket. That this area here calculates the monthly rents. Remember, on this section, on this left side, you put like 30 years at 7.5%. That will calculate the monthly PITI, the note. This is the PI, principal plus interest, then the taxes, the insurance, and the HOA, and any other fees that you can add here. Actually, this number, oh, no. HOA, you can add the HOA right here on the left side too, on the yellow side. HOA and other fees. So everything will be subtracted by the monthly rent that you previously added on this side, on the rent side. That will give you a total. So for example, in this specific case, that property will give me a gross of 3,600, but my principal plus interest is going to be 2,000. My tax is going to be 500. My property insurance is going to be 167. And I need to add like HOA and other fees. Let's say here, like HOA, like $100 a year. So let's go to 1,200. And it will calculate here. It will populate $100. If you guys see here, $100 a month. So that property will give me $735 a month on a net side. Of course, on top of that, you need to add, if you're doing Airbnb, so Airbnb fees, you need to add bills, you need to add maintenance, or these are the basic numbers. On the fourth column, it will give you the cash on cash return, the formula, this side here. So in this example, we are putting $47,000. Why? Because we're first closing with the Harmony lender, we're putting 1,000. Then we have around $10,000 in closing costs, and actually we're getting $800 back from the refinance, from the refi. That will give us a total of $47,000. And these formulas here, these little sections calculate, okay, how much is going to be my cash flow per year? Is going to be 735 multiplied by 12. You guys can see the formulas here. Multiplied by 12. It's going to be 8,800, 8,820 divided into 47. It will give me 18%. That's going to be with short-term rentals. In this case, I have to add here like the cash flow, because this is the formula that we take by default this part over here. So if I want to go on the short-term rent numbers, let's say that will give me $1,000 a month. There you go, 25% return on investment. If I'm gonna go Section A, that will give me $980 a month. There you go. Section A will give me 24%. Airbnb will give me 25, and long-term will give me, well, in this case, if I'm gonna make the default long-term, then I will go here, change Airbnb, put Zillow, for example, and change it to 2,800. That's it. By default, we calculate, actually right now it's negative cash flow. But yes, that is it. And I do recommend, and most of any experienced investor will recommend only, running your numbers only, not only, but the most important is run your numbers based on long-term. So make a decision based on long-term tenants, on long-term, because if everything goes to hell, you have a long-term tenant there. Of course, there are good properties right now. There are like strategies, like if you have a property with no HOA, a big property with a ton of bedrooms that you can change, you can do co-living, you can do Airbnb. But you guys, the point is that always be safe, always play safe, and on the long-term numbers, and everything else is an addition. So that is it. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna be adding like 2-3 more videos, but actually doing underwriting actual real deals on these calculators, so you can guys see examples of on how to do it. Okay, take care. Okay, we are done here, so it's gonna stop. Wait for the other videos.